Hi, Gaited with the Majestic Rider. So today I wanted to talk, of course, they always talk when I'm talking. Today I wanted to talk to you about how to use your legs properly. A lot of people rely on their hands way too much. And you got to remember you have a metal bit in that horse's mouth. So the reins really are the last thing you want to use to steer them once the horse knows how to steer. You want to use your eyes, you want to use your body. In other words, you want to look where you're going. It turns your body and the horse will get that feel, and in time when you just turn and look, they'll start to go that direction. But the other thing is you want to use your legs. You want to use your legs more than your hands, okay? So if you can push a horse over, that's much nicer than pulling the horse by his mouth with a metal bit in his mouth. So we're trying to be very soft with our hands and use our legs, and then use the things that we're teaching the horse so they get better and better at it. So what I'm going to show you is with this ball is how to use your legs. And once you get the concept, it's not very hard. But when people are up there in the saddle, they get very confused with when they're bending the horse and when they're turning the horse. So what I want you to think is that when I'm centered over the horse and the horse is trained, that I am going to use whichever leg to push the horse in the direction I want him to go, okay? So when you stand on the ball, just like I'm standing on the horse, if I push with my left leg but my right leg is tight against the horse won't know to move that way. So you want to think, just like when you're playing soccer, but not with a hay ball, that if you wanted to move the soccer ball off to the right, what would you do? You would push with your left leg, okay? But your right leg wouldn't be in the way. So that's why the soccer ball can go that direction, because you kind of opened the door. So again, if I'm on my horse, and say my horse is leaning in, so I want to bend it, so that means bend it or make an arc with its body, I want to push that horse over a little bit. So I would push with my left leg. If I'm going to the left, I would push that horse over, but when I do it, my right leg would be off. Now, say I'm going to make a circle, so I might bend my horse first, so push with the left leg, and then to get the horse to turn, I'm going to push with the opposite leg. I'm going to push with the right leg. So you know, as you watch the soccer players going like this, they're moving the ball around, aren't they? And so you want to think the same concept is that you're moving your horse around. So if I want the horse to move over to the right, I'm going to take my right leg off, open the door, going to push with my left leg. If I want to push my horse off to the left, I'm going to take my left leg off, and I'm going to push with my right leg. So I'm pushing it in the direction I want to go, okay? So now again, if you're making a circle or a turn, you'd bend the horse around the leg you're going to turn it. Say I'm turning to the left, so I'm going to bend it to the left. I want it to arc its body, because say there's a tree or something in the way, so I don't want it to cut the turn. So I push with my left, get that horse to bend, and then I push it with the right to get it to actually go in the direction I want it to go. So you push with the left, take the left leg off, then push with the right, okay? Whenever you're pushing a leg into that horse's side, you want to make sure that other leg is off, especially in the beginning when they're learning, because if it's not off, they'll get confused and they're like, I will just go faster because I don't know where to go. So you want to make sure you open the door, and then over time you'll be able to leave a light pressure there, and the horse will know, oh, she's pushing harder with the left, so it means I move off of her left leg, I go to the right even though her right leg is sitting there. So if you don't know that, then when a horse doesn't know how to turn, you don't know how to block them, right? So again, if you're turning to the left and the horse turns its head to the left, but you're trying to make a turn and the horse won't go to the left, what do? You push with the right leg. You push it in the direction you want it to go. So I push the horse to the left, but I'm pushing off of my right leg, okay? So say that again. You're trying to turn your horse. You're in the arena. The horse is drifting. You want to go to the left, but the horse is drifting to the right. You're trying to block that direction to the right, just like if the ball was rolling to the right. Say the ball was rolling to the right. You'd block it with your right leg and push it back over. This is one of the concepts people really don't get when they're riding. And they don't get that they're supposed to look the direction they want to go because the horse is drifting. When the horse drifts and you look down, the horse knows you don't know how to ride, and they just drift more and they kind of screw around with you more. So you got to look where you want to go and then push with that opposite leg to make him go in that direction. If that doesn't work, you might use a stick on the shoulder, or on their neck to make them move away from the stick and move them off in that direction. So again, if you don't get this concept, don't think too hard about it yet. Just get a ball, or get, you know, if you don't have a ball, get some paper, roll it up, and I want you to just kick the paper around and try to make it go in a certain direction. And before you know it, you're like, oh, I get it. I get it. I push where I want it to go. So I want it to go to the left, so I push with my right leg. I want it to go to the left, so I push with my right leg. I want it to go to the right, so I push with my left leg. I want them to go to the right, so I'm going to push with the left leg. Go to the right, push with my left leg. So again, if you have a horse that doesn't steer well or keeps drifting, or the horse is just screwing around with you, sometimes you can't practice up there because you're not good enough yet. But you can practice with the ball. And the ball, as long as you don't do it on a hill, is not going to run away down the hill. But it gives you something to focus on, something to get your coordination up. So then when you get on the horse, you'll be much better at getting that horse to turn, okay? So remember, anytime you want to turn, try not to pull with your hand first. Push with your leg, just like you're pushing the ball. Then if they're not turning, you can pull that rein, but still keep pushing with that leg, or kind of bumping with your leg until that horse moves away from it. Forgot. So when you're pushing the horse over, a lot of these gaited horses are green, right? That means they don't understand things. So when you're pushing the horse over, you want it to move sideways. If it doesn't move over, you might have to bump it. If it still won't move over, you might have to use a little bit of a spur, which is a little bit of a poke, to make the horse want to move away from the poking, okay? So as you do that, when these horses are green, they don't understand to move over so well, so they speed up. So as you go to push them over, you'll have to hold the rein or tighten your fist around the rein, so you're blocking forward. Okay, so that way the horse understands, oh, I can't go forward, she keeps putting pressure, I want to get away from the pressure, so I want to go sideways from it. Okay, so remember that as you ask them to move over, hold some on that rein, tighten your fist up, so it'll block that forward motion. And that's the hard concept, is you got to do all that at the same time. So you got to, as you're pushing the horse over, hold, and then once they move over step, then you release everything. And then the horse goes, oh, that's how I get the release. She pushes, I move over, I don't go forward, she releases. And the horse is always working for a release. So just remember that also, is besides pushing with your leg, if you're trying to move them sideways, push the horse over, but hold that rein a little bit tight while you do it, so they don't go any faster, okay? I hope that helps some of you with learning how to use your legs.